Hello everyone, welcome back to our session. Today we are going to discuss Power BI interview questions and answers. So as we know, we all have been working in Power BI and many of us are learning Power BI, which you can check out my videos. There are few videos on Power BI, and recently I have started SQL series also. So one of the video is out here on my channel, and you can check it out. So here in the SQL video, I have discussed about why do we use SQL programming, and I have discussed a small topic there, how to create tables and database. So you can check it out. I'll bring up more videos on that very soon. Okay, so today we'll be discussing about Power BI interviews and answers. So here, what happens, we are going for interviews, we are looking for jobs and all. So many of us, whether we are freshers or experienced, it doesn't matter at all, completely. Okay, so remember the one thing that you will be asked questions on Power BI, and you have to answer in such a way that the interviewer is impressed based on your knowledge. Okay, it's not about reading the question and answers and just answering those whatever lines you have marked up. Okay, so it's not that way. Okay, so you have to show that you know the stuff what you are speaking. Okay, you know the things which can be done in Power BI and all. So in my answers and questions, you can check out, I have few questions where I have written a single line of answer, but you don't have to explain that single line. Okay, it is just for you to understand that what all can be done. So that is what we will be discussing in our session today. So I'll help you understand that how answer should be given. Okay, so it's basically a way by which you can tell that yeah, you know your stuff. Okay, you have been working for many years, or you have spent a lot of thousands of hours in working in on your Power BI. So this is something which you have to do. Okay, along with Power BI, you will be asked SQL questions or some database questions and all that. So that's part of your job. Okay, as I told you earlier, that with Power BI you cannot get job only with Power BI. You have to work on databases, you have to write queries and all. Okay, so you have to be good in SQL also. So that for that reason only I have started SQL series also, which you can check it out. Okay, so let's go ahead and understand about Power BI. As you know that Power BI is a data visualization tool. It's a product from Microsoft which helps us to analyze and visualize the data. So that will be the first question. If I interview you or if I give interviews, okay, my first question will be that what is Power BI? Why do you work on Power BI? What is the benefit you are getting from Power BI? So these are the questions which people will ask you, okay, because they need to know that what is your understanding on the data. If you do not understand the data, or if you do not understand about the requirement, then how you will work on this real-time scenario, real-time projects. Okay, so now say we will start with Power BI. Okay, so what is Power BI? So there are different types of technologies other than Power BI in the market. We have Tableau, we have ClickView, ClickSense, QuickSight is there, Looker is there, Spotfire is there. Like this, there are hundreds of other products. Okay, now Excel is one of the most important thing which people are using for data visualization also. Then why should anyone go for Power BI? Okay, what extra you are getting from Power BI? These kind of things you will be asked in interviews. Okay, so for that you should be you should be well prepared for that. Okay, so in this case, what we'll do, we will go through few questions. I'll bring this in multiple parts. So today I'll cover around 10-11 questions, and next week I'll bring up the remaining 10 questions, and so like this, or in 2-3 days I'll try to bring up more parts of that. So we'll have multiple parts. So this way you should be very clear. There are hundreds of things which I can ask. I can take an interview of at least 1 hour or 2 hours. I can do that. Okay, I also give, because when I go for new projects or new requirements, okay, new jobs, then what happens, let's say I have to give interviews, so people will be asking a lot of questions, and based on my experience, I can assume that I'm in a position to help you out to understand that how you should answer the questions. Okay, here you see that there is nothing no answer more than 2 lines. If you give these answers, no one will hire you at all. Definitely no one will hire. That's the reason intentionally I have given these 1 line of answers. So people who are just going to recite these lines and all that, or mug up these lines from here or from web sources on Google and all, you will find hundreds of other sources which have list of 20 questions, 30 questions, 50 questions, 100 questions and all. But if you just repeat, mug up all those answers, it will be really tough to secure a job. See, we all are working, and we have to make sure that whenever we give interviews, we should get the job in the first time itself, or maybe in the second time if things doesn't go in our favor. But it should not be the case that I am giving 10 interviews, 20 interviews, and still, so it means that you are not on the right side of the kind of learning. Okay, so you are trying to see that what is done from the top level. Try to deep dive into the things, understand them, that how the things are done in real time, what can also be explained. So see, share the information to the interviewer in such a way that the interviewer will be impressed. So that is what we are going to do. Okay, I have created a similar kind of interview question and answers on Ultrix earlier, which is a three-part video. Okay, you can check it out if you are interested in Ultrix. That is again a very important technology, and if you work with Power BI, Ultrix, SQL, Tableau, if you have this kind of stack, then it will be very easy for you to get jobs in the market. So the first thing is like Power BI. Power BI is something like which came recently. Recently, I will say 7-8 years back. I am working on Power BI for last 7 years. 2016 starting, I started Power BI. Before this, I was working on other technologies and all. So I got a new project and I started looking into Power BI. This is how I started. So Power BI is not very old, but the framework on which Power BI works, it's like there for decades. Okay, Excel is one of them. Okay, Power Pivot. Okay, Power Query, Power View. So these are the things which we all have been working, or many of you might have heard in Excel. Okay, so these are there for decades. So it's not something new came up automatically. So what happened? Microsoft thought, okay, we should have a product which can compete with Tableau or Spotfire or ClickView, ClickSense, whichever the leaders in the market. Okay, and they thought, okay, we should bring up a product which can collaborate, or which should combine all the strong points of Excel and Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, all these things together. And then they came up with a product called Microsoft Power BI. So it's one of the very intuitive and very easy to learn, because it's very easy to learn also, because it's something similar to what we have been doing all the time in Excel. Okay, you're writing conditions, you're writing charts, you're just doing all the stuff, and now you have to just learn this in a different way. That's all. So that's the reason Power BI is one of the most popular software in the market, most popular technology in the market, in the data visualization space in the market. It's a leader for many years now, and it's a product from Microsoft, as I told you, and it helps us to analyze and visualize data. Then why do we need analyze and visualizing the data? So that's what's the purpose of that. So this is, see, you are working in data industries and all that. Okay, so you have been getting data from different sources and all. Now if I ask you that, if how do you give me the results, how the things are working in my business, or what is not working, and what all things are there, so how will you give me the results for that? You cannot just give me data, or take this data of 10 GB file, and just read about by yourself. Okay, no, it's not the way. Okay, so you will show me the information in the form of charts, okay, in the form of visualizations, using some drill downs, because our mind remembers what we see. Remember this thing. That's how we always remember the movies or the shows which we have seen, because we tend to, our brain tend to remember the things what we see, and get that information very quickly. That's the reason we all are working on data visualization, data space. Okay, so that is all about Power BI. So to help you understand, Power BI is a data visualization tool which helps us to analyze and visualize the data, and create reports, dashboards, and all that. You can call a lot of things. Okay, so this is how you have to answer your question. So you should be clear that what you have to answer. What, so you should be very clear that what you have to answer. You should be very clear about that thing. Okay, in your mind. And then a question will be there, what are different elements in Power BI? Okay, so elements here, they can call it components or different products of Power BI. So question can come in different ways. Okay, so you should be very clear in this, that, or if you are not sure, then ask the interviewer that what do you mean by element? Do you think that do you mean that the components or elements or products of Power BI? So confirm it. so that interviewer can, because see, one person is speaking in different language, let's say elements, for them like, they are aware of it, but for you it might be components. Okay, so just try to confirm it. Okay, there is nothing wrong in that. Once you answer the right things, obviously everyone will be happy. So what are different elements of Power BI? So Power BI elements means the components or the products inside Power BI. Okay, so first of them is Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is the platform or is a product on which we create reports and dashboards. Okay, then Power BI Service. Power BI Service is a place where it's a web application kind of thing. Okay, so which helps us to publish the dashboards and share it to anyone. Okay, there are a lot of things which we can do in Power Service that you will see in coming sessions if you follow my video tutorials and all. Then you have mobile applications like mobile apps, so using which you can create specific mobile applications, mobile reports. Then you have report builder, which using which you can create paginated reports and all that stuff. It is again a very important functionality for those projects where they require paginated reports. Paginated reports are like very crucial in some projects. And then Power BI report server, it's a server, application server, so which is configured and through which you can share your application across the organization and publish them and all that. A lot of things can be done. So this is basically a way by which like you can answer the question. So you should be clear that what each of these like components is all about. Okay, so this is, you have to explain in detail. Okay, so you may not be working on report builder, power report server in real time projects. Suppose, okay, you might have only worked with Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service. So tell them, no issues, that we deal with only Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service in our project. We do not have report server. But tomorrow you might be having a project where they have a report server already configured and you have to work with. So you should have idea about it. Okay, at any point of time in the interview, be confident about this. So this is one thing which I always tell and I try to bring up from candidates, that you should be very confident in the interview. Don't be very like hesitant or like very like kind of, okay, you should not be very you should not be very like nervous or anything like that. So be confident about everything, whatever you are speaking. So why should I use Power BI? Okay, so next question, we have a different views in Power BI Desktop. So different views means like what all information you can see when you open a Power BI Desktop. So we have a report view, okay, through which like we will see the reports. Okay, we'll have charts, visualizations and all that stuff. Then there is a view through which we can see the data, that different tables which we have loaded, table 1, table 2, 3, 4, 5 and all that from different sources, again any kind of sources again. Okay, we can load the data from any kind of sources. Then there is a view called model view, through which we do data modeling, which is another strength of Power BI. Okay, it can help you to model the data. You can create very extensive different kind of models and advanced kind of models inside Power BI itself. Okay, so there are three main views: report view, data view and model view. So you should be clear where all is. So first option itself is report view on the left hand side when you log into desktop. Second is data view. Third is model view. So you should be clear about that. Okay, if you have worked on desktop, obviously you will be aware of it. Why should I use Power BI? See, in this question, people are trying to understand that whether you understand the product and the competition in the market. If you want to buy a product, let's say you want to buy a car, okay, you will go to the car showroom. Then the salesman will always say that their car is the best thing which you can get in the market. There is nothing else in the market which can compete with it. See, it's a salesperson. Their job is to like say good things about the product, their product only. Okay, so they will obviously tell, but it's up to you that to choose and see a lot of things together, means multiple products, see what fits to your requirements and then decide that which is the best product for you. See, in your case, when you are a developer, it's not about your choice, it's about the business requirements. So here the interviewer is trying to understand that do you understand the competition or not. Competition means like competitor products. Okay, so we have Tableau, we have Spotify, ClickView, ClickSense and many more. So do you think that Power BI is best in the market? Okay, so what will be your answer? It's not, there is no predefined answer for this. It is all subjective. It is all subjective. How you try to show that your information can be useful for deciding factor. Okay, can be used as a deciding factor for selecting of a product. So in this case, try to say that no, Power BI may not be the best product in the market. Yes, Power BI is not the best, but it is one of the best where it can help all the things and it fits to all the requirements based on my business requirements, based on my requirements, that it is one of the cheapest compared to other products. It can be easily integrated to existing Microsoft technologies, Microsoft products, because it's a product from Microsoft. So they have a seamless integration with their existing products. Obviously, half of the world is using, I will say most of the world is using Microsoft products related any other space. So this is one of the things, easy to integrate. Okay, and like strong data modeling, visualizations, and all that. So this is how we have to see, and cost is always a biggest factor, okay, in deciding what technology you are using. And if you get all the best and good functionalities in a low price, people will be happy to use it, and it's easy to learn also. So it's not some kind of product where my business or my company has bought up the licenses and everything, and I'm not able to train the resources on that. I'm not, my trainers like or trainees, my candidates, my resources are having tough time to learn a product. So what is the use of that product when people cannot learn it easily? Okay, so this is something which you should be very clear about. Which language is used in Power BI? So here the person want to understand that what all things you have done in Power BI. Okay, so Power BI uses DAX, which is one of the very well known programming language. This is called DAX, data analysis expressions. Okay, so, and mQuery. mQuery is another programming language which is used in your Power Query. Okay, and DAX is again a very useful thing. You might not be using mQuery that often, but still DAX is something which you'll be using very regularly. So this is something which you should be very clear about. We will come and get more questions on DAX in coming sessions. So make sure to get the new videos, check out new videos on our channel. Okay, and the next thing what we have is like what are the different types of filters in Power BI. So here the interviewer want to understand that what all you have used. Okay, so you will say that there are mainly three types like of filters. Basically those are visual level filters, page level filters, and report level filter. I have created a page. So now people might ask you in detail about these things. It's not, the answer is not finished. Now if I am an interviewer, I will ask you what is visual level filter, what is page level filter, and what is report level filter, so that I can understand whether you know all the three levels or not, whether you have used all the three or not. So I'll ask you this thing definitely, and if interviewer is interested to know like the kind of information what you have, then definitely he's going to ask you this thing. So you have to make sure that you are clear about this. Again, I'm telling you the same thing again and again, that be clear about what you are speaking. So visual level filter. Visual level filter is a filter by which a filter can be applied, a static filter can be applied, okay, on the visualization which will impact only that particular chart. So I have line chart, bar chart, pie chart. Okay, three charts are there. I have applied region is equal to, let's say, ABC. So that filter will be only applicable to that particular bar chart only. It will not impact page other three charts, line chart and pie chart. So this is called visual level filter. Page level filter. Now let's say on that particular page I have line chart, bar chart, and pie chart. Because three visualizations I am having. Now I have used the same filter, region is equal to ABC, as page level filter. Now what will happen? All the three visualizations or any visualization which you use on that particular page will have that filter. So you will see only data for ABC region. There will be no other regions data will be shown on that particular page. Okay. Now what is report level filter? Report level filter is very kind of, you do not use those filters very regularly, but still it might be to remove the null values from overall data and all that. In some scenarios you will be using that. So report level filter means if you use that particular filter, let's say region is equal to ABC, then irrespective of like number of pages you have, okay, let's say you have page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5 and all, and number of pages, the same filter will be applicable for all the pages. all the pages. So you will see only ABC region data only, no matter if you have XYZ region data or PQR region data and all that. No. Okay, you will only have data for that particular ABC. So these are different three main filters. Then you have slicers, drill through and all that. So those are many other things which we will discuss in coming sessions. We will have those things again. Then what is then there's another very important thing like which people miss a lot of times, that is drill through. Drill through, what is the meaning of drill through? Many people even don't understand that what is the requirement of drill through filters and all. So drill through is a way by which like you can pass on the value, the filtered selection to the target pages. Basically, let's say if you have page 1 and page 2. Now I have a bar chart which is showing me sales by region. So I have region A, B, C, D. Now what I want, and page 2 is having a detailed information of that particular pages, okay, of those regions, sorry. Now if I select region is equal to A, regions A, if I select that particular bar, and I have used drill through filter, then what will happen? I will see all the detailed analysis of region A in the second page, which is my target page. So that is the definition tells you, and it's one of the most important thing. Make sure if you are aware of this, then keep practicing this thing, and you will get a very clear understanding of this. So drill through is a feature using which you can pass the filtered value to a target page where information will be shown based on the selected value in the source page. Okay, so this is something which you have to be very clear. So if I click something or select something in page 1, this more information, a detailed information will be shown in the second page, whatever is configured. Okay, that will be based on the configuration, whatever you have defined. Okay, I hope it is clear. If you any of the questions, if you are not clear, you can comment your questions, anything, whatever you want, and I'll try to answer all those things. Okay. Then there will be another question that what is DAX. So these are the basic questions. I am talking about basic questions. Then we will have chart level functions, questions and everything. And then we'll have DAX related functions and then transformations and all that stuff, power query and everything we will get. So DAX is a programming language which is used to do calculations, measures in tables in Power BI. So without DAX, I'm sure that you cannot work on Power BI. It will be really tough to get the answers or get the results without DAX. This is so useful because most of the time what happens, like your requirements which can be which need to be shown to the users, the results cannot be accessed without calculations. So your data is there, but your result, the way you need that information, the numbers cannot be done without calculation, and for those calculation you need DAX. So DAX is one of the most used programming language. If you are not aware of DAX, there are a lot of tutorials and all. You can check it out, you can learn it and start learning it. There are at least 50 to 60-70 functions which you can easily get it, and those will be used mainly. Okay. What is the measure in a Power BI? So now again there will be another questions and all. So what is a measure? Facts and dimensions. Okay. Facts and measures. Everyone is aware. If you are not aware, facts and dimensions are string values, facts are number values, numerical values, just on the top level. Measures are also calculations. Okay, so when you do any calculation, you create calculated columns or measures. So measures are done or are the aggregated calculations, are the results which you do with the help of DAX functions. So measure will be created. Again, there will be important questions. What is the difference between measure and a calculated column? What is beneficial, whether to have calculated columns or measures? That we'll be discussing in the coming sessions. There are a lot of questions which can be asked on measure itself. I can try to understand that how much the person knows about calculations and all with the help of measure, calculate columns and all. Okay, so this is very important. I'll go to the next. Okay, what is the difference between measure and quick measures? See, we got a new question only on measure. I'll get more questions on measures and calculate columns. So what is the difference between measure and quick measures? So quick measures basically are predefined functions or calculations which are already there. Let's say you want to see the year over year, quarter over quarter, month over month calculations. So those are already predefined there. You have to go to your quick measure option in Power BI, and there you have to select which, let's say year over year month. Then they will ask you, you want to see which measure column will be there, what will be your period column, let's say date. You can define date column, sales, and it will automatically calculate a year over year, month over year calculations. So like this, there are multiple measures. You should be now, if you tell okay, predefined measures, my next question will be okay, give me a few examples which what kind of quick measure calculations are there. Now I have seen when I take interviews, like okay, many of people are not even remembering, like they don't even remember that what all quick measures are there. So basic measures, give me 2 3 examples, I'll understand that okay, you know the stuff, you have worked on it year over year, quarter over quarter, month over month. So these are the basic ones. Okay, so just try to remember few things. So these are the 10 questions which I have created for this particular session. There are a few more questions, like now I can go into visualizations. Let's say I can ask you tree map, scatter chart, line chart, time series chart. Okay, like this I can ask you n number of questions on visualizations, which will be used if you have this kind of data, this kind of requirement, which chart will be used in this scenario. So those scenarios are, those questions are trying to understand that do you understand the data and the requirements, do you understand that which chart will be used in which scenarios. It's not randomly you can select any chart and then oh, you can use line chart, bar chart randomly. No, you should be clear about the requirement, that this is my requirement. In this scenario I will use a pie chart, in this scenario I will use a line chart, in this scenario I will use a bar chart. It's not randomly you can select any chart. So these are the questions which I can ask you more and more on the interview like side. Okay, so these are all things like based on which like I'm trying to assess, or let's say interviewer is trying to assess you in such a way that they can get the best out of it, okay, out of you. Okay, if you do not like meet all the criterias and all, if your basic knowledge and all, if you do not know detailed about the chart and its usages, then obviously it will be tough to clear the interview. So this is what I am trying to bring up so that people can learn and people can answer in the right way. So my purpose of all these questions and bringing this video is to help you understand that how you have to answer the question. I have seen a lot of people who are technically good, but they can't like elaborate their answers. Okay, because they try to like okay, try to tell you something, but they are not convincing in the answering, okay, the questions. Okay, this is something which we all have to work on that front. Okay, so make sure that you are clear about your thoughts, whatever is coming. Okay, how you are going to answer the questions, how you're going to impress the interviewer, because it will be 30 minutes 1 hour interview. If you are not able to impress the third person sitting in front of you, then you're not going to get that job. So make sure you are well prepared, and we are going to discuss a lot of new things like in coming sessions, lot of more questions in our coming sessions. I'll bring up something maybe by next week itself, and very soon few more questions will be coming in front of you. So I hope you might have liked this video. If you have liked it, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. It will help me to grow, and you can stay tuned for more interview questions. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead.